Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia, and welcome to those who are just joining us today. And hello to those who came back to say hi. Kinky Sweat is the name of my platform that I share all things movement and beauty. You'll find a lot of my movement stuff on Instagram, and I am looking to add more tutorials, flexibility, strength ones on YouTube, as well as my IGTV. Today hello foot. Today we're going to take a look at the Mel Cosmetics Baby Girl Stack. Many of you have suggested, or requested I should say, to film a tutorial using this stack because I think this was maybe the favorite out of all the stacks that I purchased on Black Friday. If you want to see that haul video, it's like an hour long. Grab a snack, grab a bud, a blanket, slippers, socks, whatever you need to get through it. To watch everything that I purchased, as well as some swatches with the makeup products that I purchased, and everything else is just a chat through. I used this stack a few days ago and I mistakenly forgot to take a picture of my eye look. So I'm going to recreate the same one I did that day today. And this is the color story we're dealing with. I mean, it is magnificently beautiful. Just all shades that I love to use by themselves, to use together. You know what? Hold on here. I also have 27 just in case, because some of these shades I feel would pair beautifully with the baby girl stack. So in case we need to dip out, I'm just gonna have her on standby. You like my failed attempt to conceal this blemish and make it look like a freckle? Just a random dot on my forehead and nowhere else. Great strategy, I know. And today I'm wearing a nail polish shade from the Deborah Lippmann Gel Lab Color Pro set that was on sale at Sephora. Originally priced at $45 up here in the very small sticker. Got it for $32. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that 9? Yes, it is. I'm not sure if these are standard full size, but I love the brush on these actually. It's perhaps my most favorite brush that I've encountered so far from all the nail polishes that I've used. Today I have on this shade. I know it's hard to see in the plastic sleeve, but this is the shade I have and I really like it. It's a very almost blue toned deep gray, and I really think it gorgeous for any season, even summertime if you want to go, you know, that route, who knows, but perfect for the winter. All right friends, if you want to take a look at the baby girl stack, how I apply these shades, and the look at the end, then please keep on watching. All my face products will be listed down below, as I've already have my foundation powder, highlighter, bronzer sculpting, as well as my concealer on the lids for prep. And with all that said, right. Now, already going in, I could tell you that I absolutely love the matte and the baby girl stack. I think they are phenomenal. Two of them are a little drier than the deepest one out of the stack, but it is not an issue whatsoever. We could still make it happen, man. Again, we got Too Faced Born This Way on the lids in the shade Sand. And the first color I'm gonna move in with is Scammin, which is this like very hot pink coral shade. Going in with my way number 3, and it's a little powdery in the pan, so just be careful when you punch your brush in. And let's make sure that concealer's blended and go in. Just for the first application, I mean, this shade is incredibly easy to blend. It's soft, it moves well across the skin, it doesn't latch on, it doesn't appear streaky. I just really love how it moves. And of course, I love the tone of the shadow. I mean, look how beautiful that looks. And especially with this brush, I mean, it makes application an absolute breeze. Now, keep in mind, I am dipping in maybe 3 to 4 times because I want to build up the saturation for the shadows to follow. How is that looking so far? Don't you just love this shade? I am definitely happy that I decided to pick this up during the Black Friday sale Mel Cosmetics was having online. I mean, come on. Just look how smooth that looks. I mean, it looks diffused, it looks blurred, it looks soft. The color is amazing. It's not applying sheer, especially as you keep building it up. The intensity changes, but in a very beautiful way. Next, I want to go in with the shade Main Squeeze, which is like a very neon orange. They do have a neon orange, I believe, in like their neon stack, so maybe paired with that one, that shadow will look more neon, but this by itself, it's really neon. I don't like that fake freckle. You guessed it, going in with my wing number 4. Very powdery, very powdery. Just make sure you tap it off so it doesn't end up on your face. Not reporting anything from scammin, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna start by punching in main squeeze first on the outer V of my lid. That's beautiful. That is blending beautifully with scammin. I mean, I know they look like two different colors, but the gradient they're creating is simply gorgeous. I'm also gonna take main squeeze to the inner third of my lid. I'm gonna punch some color on there. And even just pressing the matte, it kind of like blends out as you apply it. It's gorgeous formula. Getting a little bit, pulling it across the crease once I get the majority of the shade onto the inner and outer corners. We got my number, is this my number 3? I forgot what I used. Did I say it was the 16 or the 3? I forgot. Well, either the 16 or the 3 on standby, or any fluffy brush that you have to go back after you place the second shade to further diffuse the edges. While we're here, I'm taking my number 4, but with scammin, the first shade we applied, under my lash line. I'm gonna start smoking out from the get-go, you know what I mean? You could use a pencil brush or something smaller, but I love my lash line to be blown out and very smoky, so that's why I insist on using this brush. I'm also going in with now main squeeze that orange shade, but more so on the outer third, right on scammin. I'm looking to connect it here on that corner, and then when I do, I just pull it out a little bit more. Now in with Breakup. This is the deepest shade out of the stack. If you need a little more intensity though, maybe we could use Moonchild. And if I put these two together, that's pretty much the shade difference. And if I move it across the palette, I feel it kind of looks like, what is this, Downtown? Maybe a little more red. And this is a little more muted than, what is this shade here? Moxie. So I feel like this shade is kind of like a representative of what's going on here, and these are a little more deeper and neutral. I feel like I should just do both. I should just go in with Moonchild as well as Breakup just to see what it does. Definitely gonna use Breakup because I want to show you how it behaves on mattes. Of course, going in with our new Sonia G Builder 1, now with Breakup. I'm gonna pat that down, and we're gonna just see what this, oh god, that was a lot, what this will provide in terms of intensity. I do feel perhaps is adding a little bit of richness to the eye look, but I feel it's more so color specific rather than an intensity shade. You know what I mean? This will be more appropriate if I were to create an exclusive smoky eye just using that shade. Because right now, although it's giving us a little bit of color richness, it's not deepening the eye look, which is fine. This could be it. You could add a shimmer to the lid, mascara, and be done. If you maybe just wanted to use Breakup as, again, an all over matte shade and just use that to smoke out the eyes, then that's another plan altogether. I am going to go in with Moonchild. I'm just curious because if I do want a little more intensity and depth on the outer corners, what shade are we going to use? And preferably, I would love to stay within the Mel Cosmetics realm. Yes, for the sake of this video, but you know, why not since we're using their products already? I keep getting darker and darker. The sun is not participating with me today. Same Builder Pro, but now with Moonchild from 27. See what that does. Oh, it's giving us a little something. All right, that gave us some depth and intensity. We like that. And I feel it's within the same color story as Baby Girl. So it's not exclusively brown or black, but it has a reddish undertone that I feel layers well over the corally orangey shades. I'm just patting down and gently because I already have a lot here. So with that, I'm going in back with my wing, my bow, and I'm carefully now pulling that deeper into the crease. I'm keeping my eye open just so I see how the blending is going in real time. Because sometimes when I do this and then I open my eye, it turns out very different. And again, to get a more accurate picture of what's happening, I like to keep my eye fairly open for the process. I will say the other day, I just stopped that breakup and then I left it alone with just those 3 mattes and went in with the metallic shade. And it was a really pretty eye look, and you can do that as well. But again, I just wanted to experiment with a deeper shade today to see how that would go. I definitely now want to go in with Crush. Now, this is the deepest out of the 2 metallics in the baby girl stack. This is like the duochrome shade, which is really more like a topper. If you try to swatch this, the particles scatter right away and they don't stay together like they do in this shade. So with that, I'm going to use, again, Builder 1. We might have to wet this shade. I think I did when I first did this look. So this is what it's giving us dry. Pretty, but I really want to punch up the metallic finish on this. So I'm going to put some on my brush, get in with the Max Fix Plus, and then we're going to press that onto the lid. There we go. I think that's a gorgeous shade, man. I mean, I love the tone of it. I love the shine of it as well. Even though it's not a light color, I think it shows up beautifully on the lid, layered on the mattes. That's gorgeous. Don't you just love that? I always have my blending brushes on standby because if I ever see a little bit of refinement necessarily needed, I just go in and try to make that adjustment. I wish this didn't turn out as patchy as it did, but again, you know, I just wanted to experiment to see what would happen if we applied Moonchild on top of these mattes. I'm actually put on a little bit of breakup with the same brush, but more so on the inner third because I just need a little more intensity here on that portion of my lid. There we go, looking good. Now for this shade, definitely going in with a smaller brush. I'm just looking for, you know, I'm gonna go with my Smith 253. Now in with the shade Hopeless Romantics. And see the duochrome shade shift in here. It's gorgeous. Definitely would like to apply this wet because I want the particles to stick and not scatter so much. I'm taking that to the inner portion of my eye. Wow, that is duochrome, man. Look at that. Using now the tip of the brush to kind of refine the edges and also to make this transition a little more seamless. And actually gonna pop in with Main Squeeze and just put a little more matte shadow there so it has a more of a transition to move in with. Just further refining with my number 3 so that, again, any lines that need to be fluffed. All right, I'm gonna pop on some mascara and I'll be right back. We put on some mascara. Also, I applied Cali Dream on the cheeks. Purchase I also made on Black Friday along with the Baby Girl stack. Ofra Liquid Lipstick in Verona, as well as the Desi and Katy Dose of Colors collab Liquid Velvet in my main. And you know, a little bit of my favorite artist color pencil in Versatile Chestnut. So here are the eyes with the Baby Girl stack. What do you think? What are your thoughts? I absolutely love this Baby Girl stack. In terms of ranking, the worst performing shade is probably Hopeless Romantics, and that is the duochrome shade. As beautiful as it is, it definitely is more of a topper shade, and you definitely have to build it. I would apply it wet so it has a little more stick. If you want to apply this on your lid, I would recommend applying a concealer base first just so it has a little stick, or even a glitter glue, because I feel it needs something adhesive in nature just to help the particles and the pigments stay together in a more dense fashion so it could appear more opaque. If you just want to use it as a topper shade to add a little bit of glitz and duochrome action on the lids, then fingers are best to pat it onto the lid, whatever color you have on there. I use it on the inner corners today. I think it added a nice, beautiful pink shift that kind of ties in well with the overall eye look. The mattes blew me away, especially Scammin, this shade. When I applied this as my transition, so easy to blend, and also there was no anxiety like, oh man, this is such a bright color to apply as your transition. Is it gonna work out? Yes, it will. Very easy to maneuver around the crease and the lids, and there was no skipping, there was no weird color changes. Sometimes I experience when applying a very color saturated matte that you will get like heavier pieces of color on the lid as you're blending, and it just continues to look smooth and saturated and blended. I love Main Squeeze, that neon-y orange shade. I think it added a really beautiful gradient to the eyes because you're going from coral to neon orange, but it works out. It gives you, again, that beautiful gradient of color that's distinctly coral orange, or just in that coral realm of the spectrum. I think Breakup is a great color, again, to add a little bit of color intensity to the outer corner if you want it there, or even next time I'll come on here and try it just like an all over matte eye shade, because it is a gorgeous color, not only shade wise but performance. Look how smooth that swatch is. And again, I feel this all over the lid. Oh my goodness, it's just a gorgeous shade. The tone of it is outstanding, marvelous. And again, a day that I just want to have it to be in one eyeshadow day, I'll just apply that all over my crease, my lid, the lash line, and be done. I also love the metallic shade we applied on the lid. Of course, it's the first one that I did not lift up. Crush. This is a gorgeous shade too. Look how beautiful that is. And I think applied wet is going to give you a nice sheen of color. Of course, here are the eyes done close up just so you can have a peek of how all the shades look together. What do you guys think? I love this gradient of color. Of course, I got a little crazy here, but we're going to ignore that. Did I need to go in with 27? Absolutely not. But I just love to experiment and kind of dip out just to see how some eyeshadows work. And again, I think this is a perfect complement to 27. I mean, these shades are a little more neon, but especially on the right side of the palette, like, come on, can't get better than this. All magnetic. I was using this little mirror the entire time, and quite small, but suitable if you're just focusing on your eye, you know what I mean? Overall, I am thrilled with my purchase. I am so happy that I picked up the Baby Girl stack on Black Friday. I will continue to do this eye look going forward. As you know, I love these tones, and I found it very easy to apply these shadows. In terms of the color story, the performance, the pigmentation is spot on, and I do not regret my purchase. Let me know down below if you tried anything since your Black Friday, even not Black Friday, recent shopping haul from Mel Cosmetics. I think I'm going to keep an eye out for any sales I'll have closer to Christmas, because I'm looking to maybe pick up more blush lights since I have been blown away by the blushes. It looks light in the pan, but it builds up beautifully. The saturation is gorgeous, and it doesn't look chalky or sheer at all. I don't know how it happens, because you look at the pan initially and you're like, but it does. For some reason, it builds beautifully into like that coral hue, and it works, man. It works. And they have blush lights in really cool pink shifty shades, and I think they will look beautiful given my experience, a positive one, using Shadow Play, the green duochrome highlight. Said I wasn't gonna buy anything, but you never know. You just can't never know. Let me know your thoughts down below, friends, and until then, that's a wrap. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another tutorial, demo, chit chat, or review. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.